back with another episode of Crazy People Late Night Edition. Today we're going to talk about, I see a lot of podcasts on social media always talking about men and women, the dating dynamics of today, and why women do this and why men do that, and it's men's fault and it's women's fault and society, and they always go round and round and it goes nowhere. There's never any solution, and they always just point the blame at each other. But to me, it's very simple why all of this is happening, why there's so much confusion in the dating world and in the world in general. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you have a recipe of how to make something, how to make some food, and you're looking at the instructions and it says, okay, do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. First, open up your bag of chicken. Season your chicken. Cut your chicken. But let's say you didn't follow those instructions and you did it backwards. And you put the chicken in the oven. You took it out the bag. You put it in the oven. Then you take it out when it's been in the oven for about an hour. Then you season it. Then you put it back in the oven. Then you take it out after about 30 minutes. Then you slice the chicken up. Then you put it back in the oven. You add some water. Is that chicken going to taste good to you after you done messed up the recipe and the ingredients and did everything out of order? Is that going to be some tasty chicken or some messed up chicken because you didn't follow the instructions properly? And that's what's happening right now. Open your mind and take this wisdom. Understand this wisdom. Just think if everybody in the world followed all the instructions that's in the Bible right now, would we have any of the problems that we're having in the world today? Just think about it. If everybody in the world followed it word by word, line by line, law by law, would we have any of these issues that they be talking about on all these podcasts and all these shows? You want to know the answer? No, we wouldn't, because we followed the instructions properly. There'd be no sin. There'd be no room for error because we followed the instructions properly. And that's what I see a lot in the world today. Everybody has the instructions. They don't want to listen to it. They know it, but they just don't want to do it. They think they know better than God. So you reject God, then you say, I don't want that recipe. I don't want those instructions. I'm going to make my own instructions. And that's how you get AIDS. That's how you get single parent households, because they're doing everything out of order. You're supposed to find a man, find a wife, get married, have children, raise a family, and try to live like God. Nope, that's not what we do these days. Here's what we do. We find a man with money. We get pregnant. That man leaves, or that chick leaves. Then we find another man or another woman, have a kid with them. They leave. Then you say, at 35 with 2 kids, from 2 different women, from 2 different men, then you say, oh, I want to get married now. I'm ready to settle down. I'm a catch. I need a God-fearing man. You want a God-fearing man after you messed up your life? A God-fearing man that's not going to want you. I'm sorry. A real God-fearing man, he can say he is with his mouth, but his actions dictate who he really is. And for the most part, a God-fearing man probably already has a wife. And if he doesn't have a wife, it's because he can't find a wife in this climate right now. Because there's no God-fearing women. There's ladies that go to church, but are they really God-fearing? Remember, the fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom. That means you're going to follow the instructions correctly, in order, so that things won't be messed up in the future. And that's all I see today. A bunch of out of order instructions that you created on your own, and you think that is the best way to do it. Just look how you pick your mate. How do you pick your mate? You pick your mate based upon shallow things. How much money does he make? How tall is he? How big is his D? How handsome is he? Do you think any of those things matter to God? Nope. I'll tell you right now, they don't. But that's how y'all judge who you want to lay with, who you want to spend your time with. So if you're thinking the opposite of God, what are you? When our whole purpose to be on this earth is to be like God. It says in the scriptures, in Psalms 81, I have said, ye are gods, but you shall die like one of the princes. We are gods. But we don't act like God. We don't think like God. We don't follow his laws. That's the whole purpose of his laws, is so he can bless us after this life and become like him. But yeah, all this podcast about dating and relationships and just saying the reasons. The reason is because we don't follow God's laws. And things are always going to be backwards. You're always going to have problems in relationships because nobody wants to think like God. Nobody wants to act like God. Everybody wants to make their own instructions instead of following the instructions of God. Understand this wisdom. Open your mind. Open your mind and think of all the things you did out of order. It's another episode of Crazy People. And man,